What is going on, everyone? In this video, I'll teach you everything that you've ever wanted to know about McCree. Alright, so McCree wields a pistol that carries 6 rounds with a rate of fire of 2 rounds per second. His reload time is 1.5 seconds and has a damage per shot of 20 to 75 depending on the distance. His headshot damage is anywhere from 70 to 150. As with most of the heroes, the closer you are, the more damage you'll do. Now, McCree also has an ability called Fan the Hammer, which will in 0.67 seconds shoot a burst of 6 shots. And here's the kicker, surprisingly it won't do as much damage per shot as a regular left-clicked shot. You'll only be able to do 22 to 45 damage per shot hit. Also, Fan the Hammer doesn't do extra damage when you headshot someone. So not only is this ability much harder to aim due to the huge recoil, it also does less damage. So when using Fan the Hammer, make sure you target at larger targets or when enemies are super close up and you want to put a lot of bullets in them quickly to finish them off. McCree's left shift is Combat Roll. This ability is great for getting close to people or running away quickly. Also, one of the big benefits of the Combat Roll is you will instantly reload your gun when you complete the roll. Now, the cooldown on this ability is 8 seconds, so be careful when using it, and if you do go in to kill someone, be rather confident on that decision or else you'll find yourself out of position and most likely, potentially dead. Next up, we have Flashbang. Flashbang is a short-range ability that will stun enemies for 0.7 seconds. Additionally, it will do 25 damage if an enemy is hit. When an enemy is stunned, you really have two options. First, you can shoot them regularly, do a headshot. It's a free headshot. Just aim, shoot, boom. The other option is, since you have a rate of fire of 2 rounds per second, you'll only be able to get off 1 guaranteed shot and then 1 shot if they don't move away quickly. So if it's a tracer and they press E immediately and go back to their original location a couple seconds ago, you're not going to be able to get that second shot off. But for most heroes, you'll be able to get off 2 free shots. Now that's one option whenever you stun someone. The second option is to use Fan the Hammer. Do note though, when using Fan the Hammer, you have to hit 4 shots in the enemy to have a higher damage output than 1 headshot when regular shooting. Just to recap, 1 headshot is 150 damage versus 4 Fan the Hammer shots is 180 damage. So you have to hit a majority of the shots with Fan the Hammer, at least 4, to maximize your damage. So if you use Fan the Hammer correctly, you'll be able to put 270 damage into someone. So keep that in mind, a lot of the squishies are around 200 and below health, whereas the tanks are, it's anywhere from 200 to around 500. Finally, McCree's ult is Deadeye. The longer someone is in the cast, the more damage the ability will do to them. You can tell how many people you can kill within that ult at any point by just looking at this icon. If that icon's over that certain enemy, then you know you can kill them immediately. This ability does take a while to charge up fully to kill a tank, so be aware of that and don't be afraid to pull the trigger whenever you have, say, one support like a Lucio or Mercy and maybe another DPS hero. Taking out 2 to 3 key targets is way more important than taking out an additional tank. Taking out a healer and DPS is more than enough for your team to finish off everyone else. So McCree is a mid-range hero and can duel out most heroes in the game. He really struggles against snipers like Widow and Hanzo, and even Soldier if you try to get in a long battle with the Soldier. Where McCree excels is against heroes like Tracer, Pharah, Reinhardt, and if you use your role correctly, which it's hard to use your role correctly sometimes, but you can also take out a Roadhog pretty easily if done correctly. When a low health hero like Tracer is near you, usually it's pretty easy to take them out as long as you stun them and then get a free headshot in. Most of the time you'll be able to kill them in that scenario. Also be aware that you can stack stuns on heroes. For example, if a Zarya or a Mei ults, then wait until that ult finishes to throw your stun if anyone's left. Doing so will make them vulnerable for an additional second, which means your team has another second to aim at them and take out that said person. As I mentioned before, whenever the other team has snipers, it's very hard to do much with McCree from a long distance, but whenever the enemy team doesn't have a sniper, you can more easily lay down some shots against the enemy, but try to avoid getting into gunfights when far away. That's just a typical rule with McCree. Just wait until you're about mid-range to start trading with other heroes, minus the Soldier 76, which will most likely kill you. Now, if you're just starting to play McCree, he's going to be a really hard hero to play. He's really dependent on landing most of his shots, and if you can't land most of the shots, then you're not going to do very well with McCree. One minor note with McCree is whenever you do take the shot, there is a little bit of a delay. So you need to aim a bit ahead when someone is running to actually hit the target. When you first start playing McCree, he's going to be a little bit difficult to play. It's just natural for a hero like this that's heavily based on you aiming and hitting all your shots, and those shots happen to be a little bit delayed. It's going to be difficult to get used to them. He has a rather high learning curve, but this past week even I noticed. I found that after playing him game after game after game, I was progressively getting a little bit better. I was hitting my shots, I was predicting where people were going. I was slowly but surely taking over the game, and I felt like I had full control and a huge impact with what was happening in the game. So yep guys, that is it for this video. Hopefully these tips help you out with McCree. Leave in the comments if you have any other advice for how to play McCree that I missed. I'm sure there's something out there. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching. I will talk to you tomorrow.